Okay, it is 9:22 a.m. May the 4th, 21, and I don't think the watch list has changed very much. For some reason, stocks to trade doesn't work today, and I've tried several times to to bring it back, reload everything. It doesn't seem like it's working, but that's totally fine. It's really going to be the main stocks again here from yesterday afternoon. ICBU, I'll watch if it does some kind of a continuation, but right now I just don't want to trade it. It's just gonna be a watch again. GGII is gonna be another potential morning panic bounce play. I'll be interested in this. GVSI, I would like to see it do one, but it's been choppy, so I'm just not gonna trade that. But if it does a nice one today or something, then I'll consider it the next day. Other than that, it's just not gonna be a trade. I'm going to keep looking for more setups in the chat, but that's all I got at the moment. We have 7 minutes till the market open, and when it comes to morning panic bounce plays, the one thing I will do is I'll look at a 14-day chart for support and resistance levels, but I'm not going to think or assume that a certain level is going to hold. That was my mistake yesterday, so that was a great lesson learned. Okay, it's 9:35 a.m. I had two cheeky trades. Same problem I had yesterday, although not as big, with GVSI. So I bought GVSI at, let's just see, I bought at 9:31 just because it looked so nice. The big red candle, the downtrend. It was down on the day, roughly, I think 10%, I think at least. Anyway, I bought at 224 right here. This was the annoying part, so I put in the buy order, wasn't failing, at least it didn't seem like it. I tried, canceling the order, and right here with this button, and I, right click, cancel order, but no update, so pretty much I was already in the trade. I was filled, and then now it's just a matter of me waiting for the broker to realize that I'm in the position, so I had to sit there, which really stunk. Sit there and wait until it said that my order was filled. Eventually, yes, it said my order was filled, and then I tried to sell right immediately because it wasn't really down on the day very much, and GVSI is known to do these little one candle drops, and then it makes an uptrend, a small uptrend, and then it just plays all choppy. So I tried to sell. Eventually I got filled at 9:32. But look at this wick, it went as high as 23.6, and I bought at 22.4, and I was trying to sell throughout this entire candle, just waiting for my order to get executed. Eventually got executed, but at 28, which wasn't that bad considering the fact that the next candle had dropped to 21. So not really good in that sense. I think it, as much as I like trading here with Schwab, if I start trading larger positions again, I'm going to have to use E-Trade because it's probably just bad execution. No, actually the execution is fine. It just takes a long time for the broker to realize I'm in the trade sometimes. And then I had another trade with GGII. That was a nice drop. Was that recent? Yeah, so GGII I bought at 934. Okay, so it was here. Yeah, I bought 934, 20,000 shares. These are small $500 positions. So I got in at 263, and then I sold just because I was, it wasn't really down that much on the day. I think it was down like at most 8%, 10%. So if it's not an ideal drop, it's not going to be an ideal setup. So I just wanted to get out rather quickly. I got in and out the same candle actually, and I sold at 26.8 right here, right, and I bought at 26.3. So not too bad. I mean, it's being a bit choppy. It could try to hold itself together an uptrend. The issue is that it's not really down that much on the day. It could totally do it. I might even be considered in a higher low here, but it's just gonna be a watch for now. I might consider another trade. Okay, just a quick update at 9:43. I could have considered a buy here when it dropped even lower and it made like a double bottom. It could work, but the issue is that I just think I hesitated, and I just feel like there is a lot more room to drop. When you look at all the volume that was traded during the uptrend, right? And then, we're starting to have red days. I feel like all of this volume, people who bought previously, at some point they're going to start to want to sell if they keep seeing this downtrend. And that just might have been this panic right here. So it's just going to be a watch. I mean, it could put up this double bottom here. I haven't really seen double bottoms. Initially I've seen higher lows, right? And then I saw lower lows, and now this is a double bottom. So could it uptrend from here on out? It could, but the volume, I just feel like there's a lot of people who are going to be dumping their bags if this thing continues to be red on the day. So it's conflicting, but I'm going to keep looking. Okay, it's 9:59. Just gonna make a quick update. QNTA did do a nice drop here that was a bit excessive, but because it has been up a few days, I was only considering a small position, and that was my limit. Although I didn't change it, was 1201, right? I did not change it, but it did spike rather quickly, so that left me out of that. Idea was gonna be just a small $300 trade because it's not a perfect setup. GGII eventually caught itself right here, but it took a good time for it to catch up. And what I don't like here is that we don't see this right here, nice big red candles. We see more consistency, which isn't really good to make an excessive bounce. On top of that, I don't like how there wasn't like a humongous big red volume candle either, or a green candle. There's no big volume candle taller than everything else, showing that maybe the max panic is in. GVSI does bounce back and forth, kind of like QNTA, but just low volume. Wasn't bad to consider a buy here. It did have a dip right here, but it, I've seen it where it just has like one or two candles of dropping, then it has a big spike. Well, kind of a big spike, just a very sketchy spike, really. BLRX, just an interesting NASDAQ. I am looking at this for an inverse head and shoulders, but it would have to again spike ideally to the neckline, or maybe here at the 570s level, which is the high a day here. If it could do an inverse head and shoulders, that would be nice. BPSR, I considered it for confirmed breakout. It broke out of 38, it got to 40. It did downtrend to 38, but look how degenerate, just random, a bit too choppy for me to be interested in it. It kind of opened at this candle, right? So it closed here, opened here, and then did that move. That's kind of degenerate. I can't do that with a large account, so no trades right now. I'm still looking for setups. Okay, it's 10:16. I just want to make a quick update. BLRX was never a trade because I was looking at an inverse head and shoulders. They had this big dump. Somebody dropped to their bag or something, or a lady, her purse or something. just a big drop. No setup here. BPSR actually just missed it. Wasn't there when it happened. Although it seems a bit kind of a little too scalpy, but it did it right here. 38. It held the breakout level right here. A little bit of volume, went to 40, not too bad. BLRX again, somebody dropped a bag full of shares. QNTA, nothing I want to trade. It could do like a double bottom perhaps, but that's a bit random. It's not an ideal setup. It's just random technical analysis trading. That's not really good. GGII continued a downtrend. I've been contemplating a little bit to take a buy because it did have a big volume candle, but it's not like this. It's still not the same, so it's just gonna be a watch. Unfortunately, this thing isn't providing very good bounce plays, and that's totally fine. It's not like a pump. If it was like LTNC, AABB, people would be interested. The promoters and a lot of people following will be interested in pushing it back, but this isn't the case. This might be just up on news, really good news. Maybe it is pumped a little, but it doesn't seem that nice. So no setups right now. I'll keep looking though. Okay, it's 10:28 a.m. Just want to make an update. I'll consider GGII for like a slow number 5 setup, but only if we see an inverse head and shoulders. This could be a shoulder head, and then if we see a downtrend, I'll be interested in that downtrend. I might take a trade there, but I'm not gonna just randomly throughout this day, oh, this might be the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, that's the bottom. I'm just gonna wait. We even had that big volume candle here, right? So if we do an inverse head and shoulders, I'll be interested. If it spikes without doing that, that's totally fine. No setups at the moment. Okay, it's 10:39. It looks a little bit like a cup and handle. If I had more guts, I would have taken a buy, maybe a small position. It just seems kind of sketchy, but it looks like it can do it. Right at the VWAP level, we have the cup and handle. Right here is the handle. Didn't really make an inverse head and shoulders like I wanted because the uptrend was a bit too much, unless you want to call it an uptrending inverse head and shoulders, right, instead of a cup and handle. But let's see how much this thing can run. One good thing with BPSR, this thing I consider the confirmed breakout at that 38 level. This was a bit degenerate, but this right here worked out very nice. Not too far from VWAP, and I mean it got as high as 43, so that's a setup I'll keep in mind, something to learn from. It'll be a great screenshot. I'm not sure how people are trading these random NASDAQ stocks, but maybe inverse head and shoulders here if it can get back to the 720s. AVVH is up on the day, but not very much. I think it's up the most besides BPSR. QNTA, nothing I want to trade. GVSI, nothing I want to trade. GGII, again, let's see how this one works. I'll make an update, but yeah, no trades right now. Probably will not have any more trades the rest of the day unless something really amazing shows up, at least in theory, but I just don't see anything right now. Okay, it is 11:10, and I think I'm gonna call it off for the rest of the day. GGII, so this was a setup. It did work a little right here, that breakout over VWAP. I mean, it went from 25.2 to, what is that, 25.7. Really not much range. Didn't have that volatility. We're going into midday, although some of these make a nice run midday. That wasn't the case here. GVSI, it is trying to uptrend, is actually doing better than GGII. Normally GVSI is doing worse, but hey, I'm not trading this choppy mess. Although it does look very impressive because this one did break VWAP, kind of like a confirmed breakout. Even had another wick, not much volume, but now it did a bounce above these highs here, so there you can make sense out of it. I would just rather not trade it. It does look nice though. It's a nice stock for those who like trading choppy or liquid things. It has the range. QNTA did nothing really. I mean, it's up trading a little bit, but it's nothing that I would have wanted to have been in. BPSR, Tim actually comes to show that it's not you, it's the market. Sometimes you just pick a trade and it doesn't work out. He just wanted to go for a dip buy here, and it just immediately started a downtrend. Not too bad. I think the dip buy was here actually. I think it was here. Yeah, and it just immediately downtrended, or maybe here. I forgot. Probably here. AVVH, nothing I want to trade either. Just nothing I want to trade. PRPL, the degenerate listed stock traders just kept downtrending. Maybe inverse head and shoulders, but it's the second day. It's an ugly red candle. I mean, it would be a sketchy looking doji thing if it gets to the 40s. Just not going to be a setup. And I'm going to call it off. Overall, a pretty good trading day. I had a cheeky buy and sell here with GGII. Just didn't seem like it wasn't going to do that well. Could have held a little longer even though it didn't work out. But it was just a bit cheeky. GVSI, I did a buy here at 225. Tried selling all of this entire candle right here. Never really did much because my market order was just taking forever, I guess. But it wasn't bad because the next candle it went even lower than my entry, and then it did that bounce. But Just gonna call it off. Just two very small, somewhat scalpy trades, but could be much worse. I'm not scared trading like the position sizes, $500 position sizes anymore. Now I just don't feel that scared anymore because they're tiny, they're small, they're really tiny positions compared to that $2,200 position I did yesterday. I mean, 10% on that is a $200 day. I am going to consider trading with each trade, but only if I go back. You know, if I push myself to be trading large positions, I might just stick with small positions just to continue gaining more confidence. But I think at this point I might be ready to push myself to trade at least $1,000 positions, which would mean that I should open an E-Trade account just to see how the executions are there. Maybe they're better, maybe they're worse, and I will have to pay commissions. But if I trade a large enough size, it's not going to matter that much. So I'm going to call it off. I said it before, I'll say it again. Overall, a good trading day. Two small trades. Could have been much worse, could have been better perhaps, especially with that BPSR confirmed breakout right here. Could have considered a buy there. It was pretty close, but I didn't do it. Just wasn't there when it really happened. I think this one worked out very nicely. Gonna call it off. Like I said, a pretty good trading day.